I look. I just want to make this clear before I give my grade. I like both of these guys. I respect both of these guys. And I wish Adam Cole the best.
Oh boy.
But this was some bullshit.
Welcome to the Third Generation Wrestling Podcast with your hosts Eric and Rob.
We're here following NXT Takeover 36, which is kind of reverse order of how things normally go. Normally we get Takeover and then the major pay-per-view, but roles reversed this time. I am the host, DaReal Big E. My co-host, Rob the Ambassador. How you doing? How you feeling? I like that shirt.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm missing my girl, but yeah, I'm okay, man. Yeah, I'm okay. We'll see about this one. I mean, it was good. NXT just has such a high bar, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll get into it.
All right, I'll be curious to see what the newest member to the NXT family thinks about this one. MJ Book, the host of the Countdown podcast, joining us once again on SummerSlam weekend. How's it going?
Been a busy weekend, man. Just a busy weekend. All sides of the spectrum. Watching this, I had hope. I was like, there's no way this will be worse than SummerSlam. It better not be. So glad to be watching it NXT.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I'm probably plug this twice. Make sure y'all go check out our SummerSlam post show. The video is being uploaded as we speak. The audio is available right now. Very entertaining show, to say the least.
I'm curious to watch that one back.
Yeah, it was good. It's good. So definitely check that out. But we're here talking NXT TakeOver 36. This one should not take nearly as long. There's only 5 matches to discuss. So let me just get this pulled up. I thought I did, but I guess I didn't. So it kicked off with the $1 million championship match with LA Knight taking on Cameron Grimes. And if LA Knight wins, then that means Ted DiBiase would then become his new butler. I don't know what it is with this butler stipulation, but I don't know. The stipulations lately, in a word, suck. It was funny when it was Cameron Grimes, because you could see that, being able to play that up a little bit, and they could do a lot of funny bits with that. But when you're saying you're going to put this Hall of Famer in that same position, it just doesn't work. But as far as the match goes, I thought it was really similar to the last match they had. Except the last match was a ladder match, but I didn't really care for that ladder match, to be honest with you. I remember that. The thing that stands out to me, besides the work that the two men did, and I think they do work okay together. Like, the match was fine on paper. I just don't know how I feel about Ted DiBiase getting involved. And what's the name of the finishing move?
$1 Million Dream.
Yeah, $1 Million Dream. I don't know. I still gave this. Well, let me go with the finish. Cameron Grimes gets the win, so now he's a new $1 Million champion. To me, that's the right person to win. LA Knight, I like him, but he's a heel, and he already got his run as with Cameron Grimes as his butler, so we don't need to keep that going. I can see him. Plus, I can see him elevating to the NXT championship anyway. So, the end of the day, I thought it was good, not great. I gave this one TV quality. This could be a main event on the NXT TV show, and it would be fine. You know, send them home with this, it'd be great. But as far as a takeover match, not quite. TV quality. Rob?
I enjoyed it a little more than you. First of all, I just want to talk about the logistics of the Capitol Wrestling Center. I just don't like it. I that the atmosphere of it takes away from me. It's dark in there. You can't hardly see anything. The lighting's bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, that they need to do something. Maybe start getting on the road again. That place, I don't like it. But the match itself, I thought started off a little slow, but I thought it did pick up pretty well. I didn't mind the little interference from Ted DiBiase. I mean, he's been going back and forth with LA Knight. LA Knight's kind of been disrespecting Ted. So, you know, it wasn't shocking to see Ted get involved. And I didn't think he really determined the outcome of the match. So I didn't mind it. I'm an old school guy, and it's kind of nice to see Ted around, put the $1 Million Dream on somebody. So it was cool for me. I did give it pay-per-view worthy, though, but it was just barely pay-per-view worthy. Like I said, I think Cameron Grimes is a better worker than Knight, but I still thought Knight did good work in this match. But it crawled into pay-per-view worthy later in the match.
Okay, right on.
I have to agree with Rob. I gave it pay-per-view worthy, but it was just barely. The matches I've seen with them, this is definitely better than the ladder match. I thought that was just terrible. This was definitely a little better. Maybe you could say of the recent matches, their better match. Cameron Grimes' $1 Million Dream was shit. I didn't like his $1 Million Dream, and it's always nice to see Ted DiBiase. Just like Rob said, I'm an old guy. I love seeing the $1 Million Man. It just brings me back to my childhood. So it was probably the nice choice to start with this match, since it didn't quite get a good levels, but it was not terrible. Seen far, far worse, obviously. So pay-per-view worthy, but yeah, just barely.
Okay. After that, we had the NXT Women's Championship with Dakota Kai taking on Raquel Gonzalez, and I have to say this was my favorite match of the card. I'm not gonna say it's the best bell to bell, but it was my favorite one. Raquel, as far as her character, needs an identity. I just feel like she's another one of these people that can wrestle her ass off, as she proved in this match, in my opinion. She wrestled her ass off. She was doing moves. She's not a 5 moves of doom big person. She's for a woman, for female wrestlers, she's big. She's considered a big. And usually bigs have their traditional 4 or 5 moves that they hit in the match. It's not the case with her. Outside of her finisher, she's extremely athletic for her size. She works with, and this is the case with what like Rob talks about, having a smaller opponent and being able to work well with it. That was the case here. And I think when you wrestle somebody that you've worked with, even though y'all work together, but you still work with for a long period of time, I think this is a benefit to doing that. And this stole the show to me. I gave this one superb. I loved it, start to finish. I was into it. I've never really been a huge Dakota Kai fan, but there's no doubt she can go in the ring as well. I think both these women need to step up their I don't want to say they need to be a character, but their personalities need to be turned up. They need to turn up the personality a little bit, take some risks. Don't just go by the script, so to speak, because you got people out here like Io Shirai. You've got your trying to think of other women that haven't gotten fired in the last 3 months. What's her name from Impact that just joined? She's got a lot of personality. Indy Hartwell, tons of personality. That's what I mean. So Again, I love the match. That's all I got. Book.
I gave this TV quality. I just didn't get bought in. I don't know what it was. Raquel, I just don't get her. I want to, but I just don't get the gimmick. Maybe it's the way she's, like you're saying, portraying it, and it's just not coming out very well. But I just wasn't bought in with her. Dakota Kai, I was far more bought in on than I was Raquel. I mean, I could see a great future for Dakota more than I could for Raquel for some reason. I don't know why. This match just did not work. I'm not saying she's not talented or anything. It's just, this is just another case of another woman in the WWE that somewhere along the way still hasn't totally found herself, but at least she's in NXT. She's in the right place still. She still has the time to find herself. She's not on the main roster with that kind of a problem. So future's still bright, and we'll just see where it goes. But this match, TV quality.
Well, I'll split the difference. I went pay-per-view worthy. I enjoyed the match. I agree that Raquel, when she was facing Io Shirai, I picked her to win. And I think I said about her that she was the right woman at the right time to win the title. I thought that she was, but she just has not grown into the role. I just think sometimes you can crown people too quickly, because when you're the champion, I mean, you have to have a certain air about you. You're the face of the brand, or at least in part. And that's a big role. And some people can step into it, some can't. Right now, it looks like Raquel hasn't stepped into it as of yet. Maybe she will. But as far as the match, I enjoyed it. I thought there would be it would be just a little more emotional. I mean, we've seen Dakota Kai do this kind of thing before, man. You can't turn your back on Dakota Kai. I like
Dakota Kai. At Takeover we went to.
Yeah, she turned on Tegan Knox.
Right. And yeah.
Right. So yeah, so I like Dakota Kai. I like Raquel. I thought they put on a good show. I think they're capable of better, and I have a feeling we'll see these two go at it again sometime down the line. But solid match, pay-per-view worthy for me.
All right. The NXT United Kingdom Championship, Ilya Dragunov versus Walter. First off, kudos to Walter, man. During the time off, I mean, I haven't been watching NXT UK, but since I last saw him, he has definitely lost some weight and toned up a little bit. So maybe Vince will take it easier on him should he make to the main roster. This, I know this was the match that Inside Man was most looking forward to. I kind of was too, because I felt like even though I don't see much of Walter, I've enjoyed most of his matches, and he's put on some really good matches, no matter who he's been in the ring with. And I like that they've been giving us Ilya Dragunov on NXT TV, so we kind of get familiar with him. Still haven't really heard a promo by him. I didn't really understand the promo that he cut later either, but that's neither here nor there. As far as the match goes, I gave it pay-per-view worthy. I think the problem I had was kind of like the problem I have with the next match. It's just a lack of familiarity and a lack of investment, I guess, is what it is. While I say I like Walter, I still don't know enough about Ilya Dragunov and how they came to be, other than him just won the championship. But outside of that, I thought that the work was in there, always hard hitting. These NXT UK matches they hit way harder than the American matches do. That's not even a question in mind. Those chops, that man, when Walter chops you, it's almost like you feel it through the TV. It's a thing of beauty. And I'm shocked that he got him to submit, right? If I'm mistaken. Yeah. That shocked me. So some shock value. Yeah, well, pay-per-view worthy. I know the good brother Inside Man, he gave this If we're going to old grading scale, he gave us an A, which would be equivalent to in between us instant classic and superb. So that's where he is on the match. But Rob, what'd you think?
I'm with the inside man. Definitely superb. It flirted with instant classic to me. I did not see the first match between these two, but this match made me want to go back and watch it. Like you, I'm familiar with Walter, vaguely familiar with Dragunov, but that didn't take away from the match for me because these guys put on a clinic. What I like about NXT UK, and I've said this before, their wrestling style, it's actually more wrestling and grappling. It's actually, to me, more of a classic style of wrestling. We saw a lot of stuff done on the mat, but man, the chops, the physicality in this match, when you talk about wrestling and we all don't like the F word. Well, look, man, look at this match. Look at how these guys were laying it into each other. Look at the classic moves they were doing. We saw even things as simple as like headlocks and arm drags and things like that. Man, it was beautiful. It was beautiful to watch and brutal. I mean, did you see Dragunov? Did you see his chest after the match? That interview they did with him in the locker room? Dude took a beating. I mean, he took an absolute beating. This is, to me, this is wrestling. It was wrestling. Without a doubt, superb for me. Shocking to see Walter, not only to see Walter lose, because Walter's been champion for over 2 years. He seemed invincible. But and to see a guy so much smaller than him submit him, man. But when Dragunov, I thought, did a good job of playing the underdog role. He was getting emotional, and you could just tell he really wanted this win. And when he got it, I popped for it, even though I was shocked. But man, this was superb to me. Close to instant classic, and I can't wait to go back and watch their first match.
Yeah, with Dragunov being the smaller guy, but look at him. I mean, dude's ripped to the bone, and just like you said, it looked like he had on a polka dot scarf when he was in the locker room. Dude's chest was beat to shit.
Yeah, and they billed him at 210. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but this guy was This guy was picking up Walter and tossing him over. I mean, he did it a couple of times. Walter's got to outweigh him by almost 100 pounds, but I'm telling you, it was great. It was great.
Well, I gave this match an instant classic.
What?
I actually agree with what Blake said. Completely agree. And the proof is in the pudding. After I watched this, I did go and watch their first match. I was curious. I was like, is the first match better than this? And after I watched the first match, I was like, maybe I shouldn't give this instant classic because that one is just absolutely astounding. But I'm going to stick with an instant classic. This is the kind of wrestling I like. Yes, brutal. I love that. But I also love like Rob said, the technical work. I miss seeing matches like that. We don't get to see those. Back in the day, you saw those a lot. Some people look at that as boring and, people just taking breaths and taking a moment to breathe, whatever. I love it. Not everybody can do it, but I love those kind of matches. And this match drew me in. I was entertained. I was oohing and eyeing. This was the kind of match that I will definitely watch again. And as I said, it made me go watch their first match. And as far as the non-familiarity, like you said, Eric, that's definitely a part of it. But it's also, I don't have preconceived notions of either of these guys walking in. I'm able to just watch it and I have no judgment on either of them. I can just let them tell me everything. I don't have to walk in thinking, okay, this happened, that happened, this will happen. I can just enjoy it. And maybe that made me enjoy this match even more, but this was damn good. This was match of the night, easily, hands down, not even close. So instant classic, baby. I fucking loved it.
Well, I will agree with you. It was, match of the night. And that's not to throw shade at the other matches, but if you're gonna rate it by the work rate, I mean, it's not even close. I mean, I did only give it pay-per-view worthy, but that's just from my own personal enjoyment standpoint. That's not a bad grade either. It's it's a good grade,
No.
but
yeah, it's cool.
Hey, Ric Flair was proud of them chops, and somebody else,
man,
Chris Benoit was looking at those chops. That's how you do that.
Yeah, Walter lays those things in there.
Those are hard.
And his open-handed, like, man,
big hand.
Yeah.
It echoes. It was echoing. I mean, I thought it was echoing in my apartment. Those things were so damn loud.
Yeah, it's ugly. All right. Thankfully, this is the last time we have to see this. The undisputed finale, Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly in a 2-out-3 falls match. I actually watched this match again before we came on here because I wanted to have this one fresh in my mind. I talk about this a lot, and I think this is a primary example why I do. This is wrestling. We want to watch the matches. We want good quality wrestling, but this is also entertainment. And there is something about making that entrance to the ring and it meaning something. Your music hits. Somebody, it should be a reaction, right? Like yesterday or Saturday, rather. Despite the outcomes of certain things that happen, when Becky Lynch's music hit, pop. Brock Lesnar's music hit, pop. Okay, because we know who it is, right? It would be no different if Triple H's music hit, pop. Kyle O'Reilly music hit tonight. If there's no Tron, I wouldn't know who it was. Adam Cole's music, same thing. Trying to do the Undisputed Era stuff he did with the Boom and the Adam Cole Baby stuff with this generic WWE 2K22 bullshit. Like, both of them have some straight up ass music. It's terrible. So I just had to put that out there. I'm very it just bothers me because I think they both deserve to have proper entrance music that makes them stand out. Or I'm pretty sure Adam Cole's getting called up. Just give him the Undisputed Era music. It's fine.
Isn't that why everybody got on Roman?
Yeah, man, that's
Shield's music.
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't that why everybody hated Roman. Now you're saying,
but it's different with. I think it's different with Adam Cole because his whole the Boom and the Adam Cole Baby went with that music, and it was his faction. It wasn't he put that together. It wasn't like the Shield that just they were just together to begin with. He put that faction together. So anyway, 2-out-3 falls match. First match was just straight up 1-1. Kyle O'Reilly picked up that one with a roll up. Blah. After that, they had Street Fight, which was okay. Hard hitting. Working over the ribs of Kyle O'Reilly. Okay. That chair spot was nasty. I ain't gonna lie to you. That was pretty that was ugly. And Cole picked up the win there with the last shot. And then we got the steel cage match and about 2 minutes of it anyway, and a submission move and over. Man. I look, I just want to make this clear before I give my grade. I like both of these guys. I respect both of these guys. And I wish Adam Cole the best.
Oh boy.
But this was some bullshit.
Wow.
Woo.
Wow.
I did not care one bit. And I don't know what it is. They were it's like they were trying to generate that Ciampa Gargano heat and they just couldn't do it. I don't know if it's just because I know in real life that they're really friends and I just can't buy it. Maybe that's part of it, but I just don't care about this feud. And we ended. And first of all, when they first had this feud, didn't they have a non-sanctioned match? That was the first one. You can't start there. That's like
That's how you end it.
start a feud in Hell in a Cell. You don't do that. So, no, I don't care. All 3 finishes. Well, 2 out of the 3 finishes was some bullshit. So that's what the match got. Some bullshit from me.
Wow.
Rob, go ahead.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, first the music. I miss the old Undisputed Era music, but we watch NXT on a regular basis. So even though I'm still trying to get the feel for the new music, first of all, I like O'Reilly's new music way better than I like Cole's. Like you said, the boom and the Adam Cole baby, it's just not the same. But I'm hoping that after some time, I'll start to feel it. Right now, I'm not. Something about these two guys as great of wrestlers as they are individually, the chemistry between them just doesn't seem to be there. And this match, because it was 3 falls and because they wanted to give us 3 falls, all of the falls felt kind of rushed. You know what I mean? You could just tell that the way each fall took place, it was rushed so that they could give us all 3 falls. These guys tried, and I was mostly entertained by it. But as much as I was entertained, I was still let down because 3 matches we've seen with these guys, and I don't feel like we saw the best of what they could give us. For whatever reason, the chemistry between them just wasn't there in any of these matches. I think I enjoyed the second match the most of the 3. I did not care for the first one. I thought this one was better than the first one, not as good as the second one. I'm still going to give it pay-per-view worthy because these guys, there were some good spots. That cage, I thought the cage was going to be lowered down. Did you guys see how the cage was constructed? The cage came down in separate pieces. And then it took a few minutes for the attendants to get the cage in the proper...
I think that's because we're used to seeing it in a stadium or an arena where they can put it together before the show and they can raise it high enough.
Right.
Probably isn't big enough.
The way. It's not big enough. Remember, This is the Performance Center. They just expanded on it.
And I got that. And I spoke about that earlier. The whole logistics of this thing just... I think I would have enjoyed this show more had it been in an arena like they've done past takeovers. But the match itself, not to go on too long here, pay-per-view worthy, but the 3 matches with these guys were all underwhelming. I expected more from these guys, but for whatever reason, chemistry just not there.
Well, this is all I've ever heard about is Adam Cole. That's all I've ever heard. I'm newbie, and up to this match, hadn't really seen shit. Not really. Not to the levels. I'm not. I know. I get it. But I haven't seen shit. So I go into this match. Let me deal with the music. Adam Cole's music sucks. And I didn't mind Kyle O'Reilly's, but he needs to work. He needs to get some new music too. It's kind of, it's bordering on that generic. As far as the match goes, I hate to agree with Eric again, but I have no choice. He's absolutely right. This was some bullshit. I'm new and I'm done with these two. I don't know what it is. I get the emotion. The emotion is there. No doubt on that. But they can't bring it into the ring for some reason. They can do everything before the match and then the bell rings. The classic. You do everything right before the bell and then the bell rings and you don't bring it. I don't know why. I just don't. I like Kyle O'Reilly. I like him more than I like Cole. I don't know why. But this match was just terrible. I like I said, I've only seen these guys a couple of times, and I never want to see them face each other again. So this was just bad, boring, and they just do not gel for some reason. So this was an undisputed piece of shit, and I really hope to never see them again. That was bullshit.
Yep. Never been well. It's always good when we agree. That's all I can say.
It was. You're absolutely right, man.
Doesn't happen often, but
no, it doesn't. But you're right on this one.
All right. Last but not least, Samoa Joe taking on Karrion Kross for the NXT Championship, and this one was pretty predictable, kind of like SummerSlam. This would have fit in that realm. And it's just based on we know what they're doing. They're gonna call him up. He got called up tonight. I'm not sure if we're gonna talk about that or not, but Lord have mercy. Anyway. I'm not a fan of this. Another thing, this is nitpicky, but I grew up in an era where you don't see the backstage area. You just don't. All right. The exception to the rule was Goldberg, and at the time, The Rock when he would do his backstage promo, and Triple H sometimes when they would show him. Outside of that, I don't want to see you walk through the ring. I just need to see you come behind the curtain. That's it. That's your music hit. I don't like the camera angle and watching you walk out to the ramp. I'm not a fan of it. That's just me personally. I don't know how y'all feel about it. I don't like it. Like, again, certain people that did it and that was their thing. But NXT lately has been doing this with everybody. I don't like it. They made Karrion Kross look very irregular in this match. On his way to the ring and the match in general, his entrance was completely gone. When I say his entrance, I'm talking about Scarlett. And everybody in the CWC noticed. And they were chanting, "We want Scarlett." Yes. Where is she? Now, based on, rumors, she will be back, but I guess they're letting Kross be his own man first and then bringing her in later. I don't agree with it. If you look at back when Rusev first debuted and he had Lana, that was a perfect tandem. When he was what was he? Where was he from?
Bulgaria.
Yeah,
the Bulgarian
Brute.
Bulgarian brute, and he had his ravishing Russian Lana. It worked, and I said a long time ago that the reason I felt like Kross and Scarlett were main roster ready because they were a tandem, they were a team, they were a package deal. Him on his own, and he wrestled. Yes. But like I said earlier, it's not just wrestling. Yes, wrestling is that's what keeps you, that's what gives you your job. And, having his size, he has a unique look. But that entrance was epic to me. And that's how you get people bought in. And when you have a beautiful arm piece like Scarlett, because that's kind of her character, and it's kind of, to take care of his endeavors, and he just kind of shows up. That was the gimmick originally, and it shifted to him being just a regular person, showing up in suits, cutting promos, and I don't know. I like the character. I was invested in it, and I feel like they Bray Wyatted this man. They just said, "Nah, take all that cool shit away, and you're gonna go on this WWE machine. I'm gonna spit you out, and you're gonna be a drone just like everybody else, fitting our mold." I hate it. I don't like it, and it's I'm keeping it real. He looks absolutely goddamn ridiculous tonight on Raw. Okay. Anyway, this match, hard hitting. I thought the ending was a little anticlimactic because it was kind of sudden, to say the least. I was expecting it to be more brutal based on the feud, but I guess they didn't want to go that route because they knew they needed Cross to be on Raw the next night. And I don't know if Joe still has limitations, but I will say this. Because we talked about it. That is a STF, okay? That's how you fucking do it. And he shifted into the crossface. That alone, right there, boosted this grade up. You know, I was at TV quality. When I saw that, I was pay-per-view quality, pay-per-view worthy. I'm sorry, right then and there. So yeah, that's my grade. Joe won with the muscle buster off the top rope, pinning Karrion Kross. And he's the first ever 3-time NXT champion. So we all predicted that would happen. But I have to give Joe his props on executing that move the proper way and even switching to a crossface. Thank you, Joe. Book.
I let me first say that yours truly walking into this match was 4-0. I'd gotten all the other matches predicted right, and I'd predicted Joe, so I was 5-0. Finally, I had a perfect one. Yes, about time. And it was NXT. Go figure. As far as this match, yeah, let's start with Karrion Kross. They have lost whatever he had. Whatever they were doing with him, just the short time that I've been watching him, I totally got the gimmick right off the bat. And I was starting to enjoy it. And the first time I saw him in a suit, I'm like, that doesn't work. You don't put this man in a suit. He doesn't need to be wearing suits and doing these kind of promos in a suit. That's some Triple H, Triple H in a suit makes sense. Karrion Kross in a suit, it just does not make sense, especially when he's standing next to Scarlett. And it's not like she's still kind of dressed in the wrestling gear that we're used to. So I don't know what they're doing with Karrion Kross. They have no idea. Clearly they don't with what they decided to put on him. So whatever there. Samoa, obviously I love Samoa Joe. Watch Samoa Joe. The earliest time I saw him was back in Ring of Honor. But my God, he was winded. He barely got through this. He had to keep pausing for breath. He was dying for some oxygen in this thing. So I get it. You've been away for a while. Maybe you need to stay away from ring competition because, man, you were just dying. You were sucking all the air out of the whole place. This was hovering around some bullshit. It was hovering. But Joe did enough that I'm willing to give this middle of the road. But man, this was just not a good match. I was watching it and I was fighting to stay awake. I mean, legitimately, I was bored. So it's middle of the road, but really barely, thanks to just a couple of moves. Glad Joe is a champion again, but doesn't deserve it because he was out of shape. He was gassed. He was winded in minutes. So this pay-per-view was a bit disappointing. And for the WWE, not a good weekend for the WWE. But at least I was 5-0.
Yeah, TV quality. I expected more brutality. Two big guys. I mean, bad blood. I expected more. I've never been a fan of Kross. I've said it. Never bought that he's this tough and invincible badass. Never, ever bought it. And now what they're doing with him, Kross does not interest me at all. At all. I never bought into that character. beating Ciampa the way he did, just coming in mauling people. I couldn't buy it. It just seemed unbelievable to me. So I picked Joe to win. We know Kross is going to the main roster. For his sake, I do hope they bring Scarlett back. I'm not a huge fan of Scarlett, but Kross is better with her. He just can't do this on his own. He's just not that kind of dude. He just can't hold my interest, or apparently you guys' interest either, without Scarlett around. He's just not that dude. I don't think he's that great in the ring. And I think that in combination with Joe's obvious ring rust just made for a letdown of a match. So TV quality, I agree. I was so psyched for this weekend, and I'm always psyched for NXT takeovers. But even with only 5 matches, man, this one would go at the bottom of my list as far as NXT takeovers. Just not good. I mean, now look, by NXT standards, even a bad pay-per-view is still good. But this is one of the, I don't want to say one of the worst. It's just not one of the best takeovers I've ever seen. I'll say that.
No, it's definitely not the worst. I think there was a lot of lack of star power. There was a lack of interest, I think, with this. I think if they'd have done this before SummerSlam, I think that's another thing that hurt this show. You did it after SummerSlam. Normally it's the warm-up for the big pay-per-view, and have it come right after. Like, we went from Allegiant Stadium to the CWC. It's a big jump.
They have to get out of the CWC. That place,
yeah, the
logistics are awful. It's dark. There's no lighting. There's
that was the point of a takeover.
There's nothing.
That was the point of a takeover. You go to the arena, and it was perfect in Vegas. You got Allegiant, and literally, T-Mobile was right next door. And whatever, man. So
I thought Great American Bash that was a few months ago was better than this. I thought that was better than that was just on regular TV. But I'd rather watch that than this. This just wasn't good, except for the Dragunov and Walter. I could forget about this whole pay-per-view.
Yeah, this is not one that is gonna stand out. It won't be on the best of or the worst of, but it just won't be remembered, you know. But hey, you win some, you lose some.
Yeah, I'm jumping in NXT rather late. Y'all are gonna have to point me to something that truly shows me NXT here, because damn it.
Yeah.
Damn it.
It's too bad that we've already done the retrospective for the War Games that we went to in 2019. Go back and watch that. Unfortunately, we can't have you talk about it because we've already done a show about it, but that was epic. Yeah, go back and watch Bayley and Sasha in an
I've seen that.
match.
I've seen it. I've seen it.
Those were the days. That's when NXT was on point. Not saying that I don't point now. This particular show, not very good to me.
Yeah, I'll agree. Underwhelming. It was just underwhelming. I'll say that. Yeah. That, and then to be the third, the last show, not even the third, fourth show, if you're a fan of all wrestling, if you watch SmackDown, if you watch Rampage, then you watch SummerSlam, and by the time you get the takeover, you're like, man, fuck, man, I hadn't watched 3 other wrestling shows, and Saturday was over 4 hours. So
brutal 4 hours.
Yeah. So it's just I don't know. I think we definitely left the energy at Allegiant Stadium. So
yeah, now everybody saw Brock suplex and F5 Cena after SummerSlam went dark, right?
Yeah. That was funny.
Yeah. I figured that would happen because they can't just let Brock just walk off without doing anything. And they had to send Cena off some kind of way. So sorry to all you John Cena marks. I don't know why you are, but I know they're out there.
Cena had a bad night, but
I just don't know why they couldn't show that. Why they went dark with that? We could have seen
probably
that.
because they already went over 4 fucking hours.
Well, true.
Yeah, there was no time.
But Vince, he's not gonna make Cena look too bad on TV. He already lost.
Yeah, well, shit, man. There's an internet. Everybody saw it. Come on, Vince.
Yeah. Yeah. It is what
Cell
it is.
phones, internet. Nothing's a secret anymore.
Nope. Sure isn't. Well, what did you all think? Did you enjoy the show? Was it just there for you like us? I'm hoping that even with all these cuts that they've made, a lot of them being NXT, that they can somehow rebound and get the quality back up to where it used to be. Hell, bring more people from the main roster back to NXT. You brought down Mandy Rose. She ain't done shit. And then in reverse mode, you brought up Finn Balor, and you ain't done shit with him either. It's just, man. Stop dicking around and do the right thing.
And now I guess they're going to supposed to still be having this draft sometime soon.
I don't know anymore.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, man.
I'll take it one day at a time with WWE.
Yeah.
And they need to mix a few things up. A few people, maybe different partners could do them some good.
Yeah. Well, check us out on all of your favorite podcast platforms. If you listen to the audio version, you should check us out on Apple, Google, Amazon, iHeartRadio, Podbean, and of course you can watch us on YouTube. If you're watching, thank you. We appreciate the support. Hit that like button, subscribe, share, and let us know if there's a retrospective you have in mind, or even a movie. I'm gonna let you know now. Depending on what the movie is, it may or may not get reviewed, but I'll just put it out there in the universe anyway. If it's a movie or preferably a professional wrestling event, it could be a Raw, SmackDown, it could be a Nitro, it could be an ECW, it could be a pay-per-view, as long as it's on Peacock and we can find it.
You can find it. Just takes a search team to find it.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, let us know. Email us, thirdgenwrestling@gmail.com. Leave us a comment or shoot us a DM on Instagram. Book.
Hey, listen to the Countdown Podcast. I'm actually going to be recording a little bit later right after this and putting up episodes to finish up 1980s movies. So I'm going to wrap that sucker up. I got another episode coming up with hopefully the Good Brother coming onto the show this week. So please, available on all the avenues that you can also listen to this great show as well.
Right. And I know we have to get ours done. We'll get for sure get that buttoned up. Maybe even tomorrow. Get that buttoned up. Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
So, all right, Ambassador, take us home.
All right. Well, listeners, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Let's hear from you. Get your vaccines. Get your vaccinations. Let's crush this thing and get life back to normal. I want to go to a wrestling show without a mask. I'm glad to be going to one. I am going to be wearing a mask, but
geez,
what you got?
He must have got a shirt or something.
Just a reminder, we gotta let them know we are going to be.
Oh, he's gonna get the bell.
Oh, okay. There we go.
All out in a couple weeks. So I had to bust this out yet again. If you missed our prediction show,
Well, since you're reminding folks, I might as well do a little reminding myself here. There we go.
Oh,
there we
go.
There we go. Kenny Omega, baby. Here we go.
Not surprised there at all.
Here we go.
But
yeah.
I got a T-shirt on the way. I'm thinking about not wearing it now, but I'll probably go ahead.
So yeah, all three of us will be in the building, all out, September 5th. Get to see CM Punk's return match. And can't wait. Looking forward to it. Hopefully Rusev has a match. I'm not Rusev. Miro
Oh, he'll
has
have
a match
so
that I don't look too ridiculous carrying this around. But I think either way, I'm going to take it with me either way. But, you know.
After weekends like this, we need AEW, that pay-per-view. This was just a brutal weekend. This was brutal.
Look, we know CM Punk is going to be on Dynamite. Maybe him and Darby will come face to face. We're going to get more matches. AEW is going to be very interesting to watch leading up to the show. If they can keep riding that momentum that Punk started with Rampage, this is going to be off the chain.
Oh yeah. All right. We'll speak to y'all again next week when we talk Scorpion King as we kick off the 3GW Rocky series. So we appreciate y'all. Take care.